Well, seeing how Update Ultimate's coming out soon, I decided I should make a tier list of all the Ultra classes. Obviously, the Ubers of certain classes may be way better than their Ultras, which they are going to be, and the meta for the Ubers and such like stuff like that could be totally different from how the Ultras are, but I thought it'd be cool to rank the Ultras, and then maybe in the future, once all the Ubers are out, rank those and then compare them. So yeah, I'm gonna start with Abyss Walker. Abyss Walkers are it's a pretty iffy class. I mean, one of its moves is completely useless. You're never gonna use Abyssal Scream because you curse yourself also, and you can also curse teammates. It's pretty basic attacks. It's literally just Q towards people, just dash towards them, M1. It's really easy to counterplay. You can just hold F against them majority of the time, and against Mage Shields, they are literally useless, and they can't get Tomeless either. But I have a feeling their Uber is going to be one of the best Ubers. Yeah. Next class is Deep Knight. Deep Knight, it's like, I don't know. It's also kind of weird, because it has no it can't close range. It has no range closing moves, and range in this game is or at least mobility and range is a really good thing in this game. But Deep Knights depend pretty much all on hitting one combo. It's like a worse version of Oni. They have weaker combos than Onis. They have less mobility than an Oni, and they don't have an instant execution like an Oni. And having moves that damage yourself like that, it's a very weird class, but I would say it's better than Abyss, because Abyss, again, has 0 combos, considering it's just hit one M1, run towards them, M1 again. Deep Knight has actual combos, and it has a move which can stop healing, which is actually pretty good, especially against the Phoenix Feather user or vampires and all that. So, I'd actually have to move, yeah, Deep Knight on C tier with Abyss. I would say Deep Knight's better than Abyss Walker. Next is Dragon Sage. Dragon Sage is such a bad class right now. I mean, like, if people say that Dragon Sages don't use their fists, but there's no real reason to use their fists. Dragon Sage, the lightning punches cancels mana. I'm pretty sure the duration is shorter than the diamond enchant, and even then, canceling mana, the mana cancel on it is very short. The fists do barely any damage. Considering almost everybody in the game has a Phoenix Feather, they heal it up instantly. And it's like, as a Dragon Sage, I'm not sure why you would try to get up close to other classes, like, when pretty much nearly every other class in this game has better combo potential up close than you do. It's like walking into a trap. Like, as a Dragon Sage, you have barely any HP. You rely on your mobility. So, if you were to try and, say, punch like an Oni, why would you go up close to them when that's where they thrive, right? Like, there's nothing they can do. Lightning Drop, Lightning Drop was only an issue when there were houses running full squads of Dragon Sages with Spider Cloaks spamming Lightning Drop. That was an issue. I could see that, because that's unavoidable. You can't do anything about that. Along with people like flying up with Gelatis Snap and then lightning dropping you in flat areas. That was stupid. But I mean, like, now that lightning drops damage is terrible now, lightning elbow, you can react and block to it even if you don't. Lightning elbow is its only source of actual damage besides spells. And if you have to rely on spells to do your damage, that's a problem, especially if you're not like an Ultra Mage. That's a big issue. They said they're reworking Dragon Sage and buffing it soon, so I'm waiting on that, because right now it's a terrible class. I think Dragon Sage was just terribly built. A lot of stuff about it was just bad game mechanics in my opinion. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to put Dragon Sage at D tier under Deep Knight and Abyss Walker. And next is Dark Sigil. Dark Sigil's also lacking moves. Like, I'm not sure why they're moving on to Ubers when a lot of Ultras aren't even fleshed out and finished yet, or balanced really. I I think there's a lot of balance issues currently. I would have to put Dark Sigil at B tier. Like, again, I think it is better than Deep Knight and Abyss. But then again, like, runes aren't as good as they used to be. They're nowhere near as good as they used to be. Pretty much every single Dark Sigil, the only build that they would go, you're either going to be a Dark Sigil Lannis Vampire, and Lannis got nerfed recently. It's way worse, making vampires as a Dark Sigil way worse also. But, and the only other build I've seen is Philostone as a Dark Sigil and just spamming spells with a rune active. But the only reason people would go that build is so that they could use God spells. And, you know, only super mages can do that now, which made Dark Sigil builds even worse. And, like, a Dark Sigil's only source of damage is literally just their sword. Like unlike Sigil Knight, they have their charged blows and stuff. Dark Sigil has nothing. They just have Dark Flame Charge. And keep in mind, Dark Flame Charge isn't even an instant activation. They have to actually go through the animation to activate it. Meanwhile, Sigil Knights have an instant activation for their charges because they're Ultra Class passive. And like their Dark Flame Charge, I mean, it cancels mana and stuff, but it would be really cool to see. I don't know if this is true. I've heard it is. But if it did scale with how orderly you are, that would make Dark Sigil an actual very good class against fighting orderlies. I don't know. It's just really lacking, especially with how runes don't feel that strong anymore. I mean, I mainly see runes. Runes are only used pretty much to close distance now. And that's a big problem for Dark Sigil. Because closing distance, if you can't close distance and your only source of damage is your M1, like, that's a big issue. Next is Dragon Slayer. Oh my goodness, this class is so annoying to fight. This class is... I probably struggle fighting against this class the most. I would have to... see, I'm not sure if I should put Dragon Slayer on S tier or A tier. Like, they have very good damage. In my opinion, I think Spear has the best combat in the game because it has really good range on the M1s. It has a really good block breaker, good damage. Like, the spears in this game pretty much have everything you can ask for. Yeah, you know, I think I'd have to put Dragon Slayer at S tier. You can combo into Spear Crusher, which does insane damage if you use Scrupus, which is stupid in my opinion. You should not be using Scrupus over your actual spear. They have good HP, they have good mobility because Wing Soar. Thunder Spear Crash with an Opal literally one-shots nearly any vampire. It's an unblockable move with huge AoE, has range on it, great damage. It leaves you vulnerable for a bit afterwards, but like it knocks people back afterwards. I don't know. And then they also have an Awakening on top of all of that. I think Dragon Slayer, I think it's okay where it is, but I think they could do something about Thunder Spear Crash. But yeah, and also they can use Fair Frozen, and Fair Frozen is stupidly strong. If you have a Fair Frozen as Dragon Slayer, that immediately makes you one of the strongest things in the game, if not the strongest thing in the game. Next is Faceless One. You know, I think Faceless One is honestly a very underrated class. A lot of people would get upset about Dragon Sages because all they would do is TP cast with spells. But Faceless Ones can do nearly the exact same thing. It's a very good class. They have great mobility. Their armor gives them climb boost. And having a climb boost on your armor is incredibly good, especially since Spider Cloak's an artifact slot now. They got a really good walk speed boost from their armor. The only issue with Faceless is their M1, Dagger. Dagger is so weak, dude. Like, Spy's got their own weapon, and Shinobi's got their own weapon, and Faceless Ones are stuck with the Dagger. Like, they don't need an upgraded weapon, but like, Dagger M1 does such little damage. A vampire can out-heal their M1s. It's crazy. But I mean, like, they're super strong. If you know how to use it, faceless one, you can be stupidly OP. Like Ethereal Strike, their new move. If you can land that on their back, that does 40% of their HP no matter what. Like, if you want to kill Lannis, you need to get a faceless one and make sure that they can hit their ethereal strikes. Like, that's crazy in my opinion. Shadow Fan, that's an amazing move. It shoots what, like 9 daggers out, and it TPs you to people that it hits and poisons them also. Poisons 100% of the time. And that's a good range move. It does crazy damage if you can hit all 9. That won't ever really happen, but like it can. They can spam dread daggers on you with like Shadow Fan, triple dagger throw. For pretty good range. They have great mobility. They have Bane, which lasts crazy long. It doesn't do that much damage because their dagger is pretty weak, but it's still good to have. Like, if you can constantly stay on your enemy, they won't be able to do anything really. And they also do have a special Q dash like Dragon Sage does. And then chain lethality. It's like, it's not a big deal in a fight, but I think I don't think it's used enough in big fights. Like, if I was the faceless one, what I would do is I would have a Necro give me a Bound Shrieker card, and I would place it down in a big fight, and the second I summon it, lethality it, so that I could chain lethality everybody around me. I think faceless is pretty underrated, but it's crazy strong. Next is Illusionist. This class is so bad. It's the worst in the game. It's always been the worst. There's no reason to go Illusionist when you can go Necromancer. The only reason I see people say Illusionist, like, the only things, if you see an Illusionist in a war, the only thing they do is spam Snap Hystericus and then Globus Run. Like, Globus Run is a glitch. It's not even supposed to be a part of their kit. And it's like, if you have a move that depends entirely on what the other person's like, if they're orderly or chaotic, that's stupid. Like if you want to bring up the argument that Sigil Knight Solons only works on chaotic, it can still hit orderly people. It just does way less damage. But like, they have other forms of attacking. Mages are like, oh my goodness, Illusionist is so bad. If they made it so that Globus and stuff like that hit everybody in the game except for their house members, that would make Illusionist actually pretty good, because you could have members sit inside your Globus, heal up with Phoenix Feather, and then when they have good HP, leave their Globus, go and fight. Like, Illusionist is the closest thing you can get to a support class in this game, and if you're an ultra class and all you're supposed to do is just spam snaps, and not even damaging snaps really, they just do Snap Hystericus and Globus Run, like, that's a big issue. But in Update Ultimate, mages are definitely going to be the most busted things, especially Necro from what they've said. So honestly, if you're an Illusionist, I would look forward to Update Ultimate, and get good at casting your spells also. And then next is Necromancer. Necromancer, oh my goodness. This class I don't know. Either you know that the class is busted, or you think Necromancer is like decent. I think Necromancer is the best class in the game I wouldn't say by far, but it's crazy good. You can solo carry a house in wars as a Necromancer. If you have hella Shriekers, there's almost nothing the enemy team can do. You can sit near Shriekers for safety if you're low HP, because they're not going to attack you if you're sitting in a huge group of them. If you're a Necromancer, you are pretty much always 100% HP in a fight, considering your Shriekers heal you up when they hit. Furrinter is an amazing move. It drains the enemy's HP. It's not fast, but you still heal up from it. It damages them a bit. Infinite range on it once you get it casted onto them. So you could Furrinter someone and then have someone Celeritis snap you super far away, and then you can just sit there safely Furrintering them. The main thing about Furrinters, though, since it's constantly damaging them, it stops them from using mana. And if your mana is cancelled in this game, you're screwed. Like, you're screwed. And not to mention they can use god spells. When they could use Hoppa, when Hoppa alone made you insanely OP. Hoppa is so garbage now. It's literally not even a god spell. It shouldn't be. But like, oh, and now Howler summoning is also exclusive to them, and Howler summoning is so good in this game. Like, Necromancer's super strong class. I think that if you don't have a Necromancer in your house for big wars, I don't know what you're doing. Like, you need Necromancers now, especially for Ubers. Definitely get a Necro. And then next is Oni. Oni. Nobody was Oni for like such a long time. Not a lot of people went Oni. After Hellion Breakthrough was removed, Onis were like extinct. But now Onis are making a comeback, and I think they're the second best class in the game. Like, let's see, they have good mobility because Demon Step, and I mean Phoenix Feather's nerfed now, but like pre-nerf Phoenix Feather, you could sit inside of invincibility frames from Demon Step and just heal up to full. It was crazy. They have a move that breaks your leg. They can break your ribs also. They have insane combos. They can do one combo against a Sigil Knight. It's like Onis are one of the scariest things in the game because they have like and their moves don't even have that long of a cooldown. And Demon Step, being able to sit in invincibility frames for that long, just by charging mana and spam clicking, like that's so good. And like in an instant execution also, axe kick, that is so good. And an instant execution like that in big wars, I don't know if people realize, but the instant executions in big wars are crazy helpful. Like, oh my goodness, Oni has everything you can ask for. Their mobility is not the best, but they still have mobility with invincibility frames, which is amazing. They have crazy damage up close. They have an instant execution. Like, Oni has everything you could ask for. And then, oh yeah, just Oni's a great class all around. And then next is Shinobi. See, I think, oh, this is tough. I don't know what I would make. Yeah, I think I'd put Shinobi above Dark Sigil. Shinobi, their sword, Tonto, does so much damage. Oh my goodness. It's crazy how much damage their sword does especially since they have Bane and they can easily hit you with their sword. It's super good. Owl Slash, see, like, since I've never used a Phoenix Feather, I don't know what it's like to be able to like heal up my health, but if you like not having a Phoenix Feather, I think Owl Slash is a pretty annoying move considering it's easy for them to hit. And if you want to say, oh my god, just hold F and they can't grapple onto you, I mean, like, you're not gonna just hold F an entire fight. There's the other stuff going on. And if you want to say that you can perfect block, yeah, you can perfect block Owl Slash, but I mean, like, if you can time it, or if you can literally just watch your enemy, you should be able to time your Owl Slash well enough to hit them every time. But yeah, for me, since I'm pretty squishy, I don't have a Phoenix Feather, and having a move like Owl Slash, which does decent damage against me, I find it really annoying to fight. But like, I know for tankier classes, or just having a Phoenix Feather, Owl Slash is terrible against them considering it does too little damage for how fast you can heal it up, or for how tanky other classes are. And it instant executes also. I mean, that's pretty good. And they also have an Awakening, and their Awakening is different from, my bad. Their Awakening works different from Dragon Slayer, because Dragon Slayer can use their Awakening once every day, and a Shinobi only needs to grip 3 people to pop their Awakening. And, their Awakening, I don't know. I think their Awakening could use a buff. It's pretty weak in my opinion. And Shadow Rush. Shadow Rush, it's a weird move. I haven't fought against it enough to say how good it is. But when it first came out, and I was in a server with Aptorian, and he was using it. Oh my goodness, it was really good. Like, when I had Spider Cloak, it would do over 50% against the Spider Cloak user. It was really good. And, I don't know. I think a lot of people underestimate Shinobis. I definitely think they could get a buff. But, yeah, I think Shinobi's definitely B tier. And then next is Sigil Knight. You know, Sigil Knight's always been a pretty balanced class. It's also, it's very good in my opinion. I mean, like, they have, their Thunder Charge is insane. Considering Sigil Knight, I do think something about Sigil, if anything about Sigil Knight should get nerfed, they definitely need to nerf Lightning Charged Blow. Like, if you block their Charged Blow for the Lightning one, you can't punish them afterwards. I think that's stupid. I think if you can block someone's move, you should be able to punish them. Same goes for Dragon Sage Lariat, which I think that's what they're doing, making it more punishable. But like, if you block their Charged Blow, you can't punish them afterwards because there's no like end lag on the move or whatever. And they can do insane combos. They can do a full M1 combo on you with like Lord's Combat, and then it ragdolls you. And then the second you get up, they can charge blow you with Lightning Charge, and then do another M1 combo. And it's like there's nothing you can do about it, and it does crazy damage also. Ice Charge, if you get someone stuck in it, literally just Snarvander them, they're dead unless they hold F. But like, you could also just Ignis them. There's so many things you can do with Sigil Knight. They can also Soul on Sword. Oh my gosh, it destroys vampires and chaotics. It literally shreds their HP instantly. They're tanky. They're like the tankiest class in the game. Sigil Knight is just very good all around. It's probably been the most balanced class for the longest time. I think they should just make it more punishable if you block like their charge blow. But yeah, I'd put Sigil Knight at A tier above Faceless one. And then lastly, we have Spy. Spy, you know, I'd say Spy is also A tier. Above Faceless, right under Sigil. Spy, it's incredibly easy to get. Stupidly easy to get. I remember when people complained about Dragon Sage being too easy to obtain, because it pretty much had no orderly requirements, but the same goes for Spy. Like, obviously I'm not going to use how easy the class is to obtain in a tier list, but like, oh my gosh, like, Spy has insane mobility. They have a double jump, which is actually super useful. They have really good climb speed from their armor, and climb speed now is just amazing considering no one has Spider Cloak now. Elegant Slash is good because you can combo into it pretty easily. They have Silver Guard is insane, especially how Phoenix Feather, you know, Phoenix Feather scales with how much HP you have. The more HP you have, the slower the healing looks, because you know you have more HP to heal up. But Silver Guard does not slow down your Phoenix Feather speed like it should, which is stupid in my opinion. They have like the HP of a Sigil Knight, but they heal up as if they were a fresh spawn with a Phoenix Feather. Makes no sense. They have a disarm with their right click. The Rapier combat is pretty good. They have their stuff like Wraith and Shadow, like their 3 paths ability. They're not bad. Like Wraith, sometimes it saves your life. Shadow, also you can turn invisible. Like, that's really good in my opinion. But yeah, I feel like some things about Spy should be nerfed, but then give it a new move or something. Cause see, a lot of these classes feel so bland. Like they have one damaging move. But yeah, I don't want to get too into stuff like that. This is just my tier list for now. I'm sure this will change, especially with Ubers coming out. But for now, yeah, this is definitely what I would have to say for all the classes in the game right now. So yeah, see you later.